of Reflect and Grow. I am your host, Vaughn Michael. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for being here, man. We do this every week, 10 p.m. TikTok live. If you're listening to this audio, um, if you're listening to this audio, you can also this we drop this on Thursday. So we do this record. We record on Mondays and we drop the audio on Thursdays. This has been a great week, y'all. So fantastic. I got some guests coming up later. T Gray, can you just mute your mic for right now? I appreciate you. This week, man, I had the week off. I was able to just reflect, grow, and do a lot of downtime. This week was focusing on the health. I've been seeing the dietitian every week, and the dietitian got me eating full course meals, y'all. I didn't realize. Not yet, Lux. I'll let you know. So it's like I didn't realize how like much your food, like your mental health, your food, your diet, all that stuff is like affects one another things, man. So me, y'all know me. I've been one of the guys. I've been kind of like working on my health and stuff like that. And you go ahead and block Lux. Working on my diet and like my mental health. So like I've been, I had diabetes come back recently. I had, lost the weight that it came back. And so now I've been like going to a dietitian to figure out how we could do this. So one of the mistakes I realized I've been doing is I haven't been adding enough starch in my diet. I didn't even know this was a thing, because I was raised, my parents cook. I ain't do none of the cooking. And so I would be eating beans and just veggies, and then I'd be hungry 2 minutes later, and I wanted some candy, some chips. And please, can you meet
Sorry.
Okay, guys, I want to thank you, Ron. You go right now.
There we go. So now this week, right, I added rice to the diet. So we had beans, veggies, rice. And I swear it kept me full for like 4 or 5 hours. And it was like, I did not want to eat, because when I wasn't doing that, I would just eat fast food and stuff like that. And I noticed that with the fast food, like I'd be good for like, somebody told me the other day, you be good for like an hour or two. Then as soon as you start moving, you hungry again. And then you eat again. And then by the end of the day, you be like, yo, I ate like 4 Big Macs and like that's a lot of like just calories that like you just consume and like you gain the weight, but you don't think about it because they empty calories and they don't fill you up. So the starch has been helping me stay full longer. And the oatmeal in the morning, adding some chia seeds, flax seeds and stuff like that. So, and I've noticed that like my energy is stabilized. I didn't realize how much like some people hate starches, but I love them. Yeah, I was one of the ones too. I was like, I thought starches were bad for you, but my real diet was bad. What I'm learning now is having a balanced diet. Especially like we get into these older ages, 30s, 40s, 50s, and we want to have energy like we had in our 20s and teenage, we gotta like make sure that we're consuming that diet. So that's been the focus this week. This month also is mental health awareness. I know everybody is aware of that. I'm super excited about that. I'm big time on the mental health. So this week, we're going to go over that. Just a couple things I wanted to talk about with mental health. One is mental health in the workplace. People don't realize like there's a lot of stigmas around mental health. Like people don't respect when you tell somebody you got a mental health issue, they be like, what is that? Like that ain't serious. And so what I'm learning now is just like we have to bring more awareness, right? And you also got to put yourself around people who have awareness of mental health and things that can affect you, especially jobs. Like you be out here stressed out, high blood pressure, if you don't have a boss or a management or just an employee just in general that understands that, hey, you got to take care of yourself and protect that mind. Just like you take care of your diet and your health, you got to protect your mental health. So a lot of jobs, man, you know um, I realize they try to make you feel guilty for trying to take a day off of mental health. But I tell people all the time, man, make sure you go ahead and hold on one second, y'all. Okay. Make sure you go ahead and take care of yourself, your mental health, and don't let them jobs get in the way. Also, another thing for mental health awareness is educating yourself. There's a lot of just lack of education around mental health in general. Certain things like I know we were talking about the other day. I didn't know what PTSD or bipolar was, and just hearing somebody said that, and the first thing come to my mind, be like, "Oh, something's wrong with them. Let me run. This is not right. Something's wrong with them." And just educating and getting to know that, a lot of I'm learning is we were passed down from other people, to look at people a certain type of way or deal with certain type of people in a certain type of way. And a lot of it is we were passed down lack of information. Thank you, Alfie, for joining. I appreciate you. So now it's just like, gain that education, doing your research, going to therapy, and building more self-awareness around stuff like that. Church, I talk about this almost every week. I feel like I got a church hurt story every week. Was another place where I experienced lack of mental health. People looked at it as, you was going against God. If you went to therapy, like I said, like church wasn't good enough. And, we got to look at it like churches, therapy, mental health. It's a tool, man. You got to work on it. Like you work on your spirit, you got to work on that mental. So it's just like, for me, the what I had to do is find a church that was pro mental health, because there's a lot of churches that are like against it, anti, and it's just like, nah, big dog. Before I get yes, I believe they can coexist. They can. One of my things now is whenever I look for or find a pastor, one of the biggest things is, they gotta have went to therapy themselves. Like if you ain't been to therapy, nah, because I don't want no sermons with you like you with the lens of your trauma. We all got trauma, you know what I'm saying? Especially Black people, like we got deeper trauma. Everybody got trauma, but it's just like now you're giving these sermons and your lens and the way you view things is through that trauma. I need you to go do some healing so I can receive some stuff like that. Um, and then also, especially in the Black community, one of the biggest stigmas is just like you don't need no therapy because you got your mama or your sister. And look, man, some of y'all mamas and sisters, they great women, but they ain't a therapist. They got their hurt, they got their abandonment issues, their trauma as well too. You need a professional. You need a professional, and also don't put that much weight on them. They got to deal with their stuff. They don't want to carry your stuff. That's not fair to them. They trying to live their life. You know what I'm saying? So, it's good that you want to heal and grow and stuff like that, but go to a professional, someone who's trained and get paid to do that and stuff like that. All right, y'all. So the biggest thing is I've noticed, and that's why I brought some people on the panel today, is that they say a lot of one of the biggest stigmas is therapy is weakness. People look at therapy as something is wrong with you. I got an article here, which is about breaking the stigma of about mental health and therapy. Give me 1 second here. All right, so I pulled this up from the practice.co.uk, and they list some of the common myths about therapy. One common myth about therapy is that therapy is only for people with serious mental health issues. So I have T Gray here and Jelani. T Gray, you there? You up? You awake?
I am.
Okay, hey, T Gray, we not cussing. We not cussing on here. Um, yeah.
Okay.
What you say?
I said, okay.
Okay, so T Gray, y'all. Let me introduce T Gray. T Gray is a wonderful woman, very very super funny. That I know from DMV. She's also like a coach. Like she was my therapist for a little bit. Um, so if you need some therapy or some coaching, make sure you go talk to her. We beefing right now at the moment. I do want to put that out there. I called her earlier. Um, I thought I was being petty, and she was petty back. I was like, hold on, you can't talk to me like this. I deserve to be hurt. Like this is not fair. Let me be hurt. But T Gray, thank you so much for joining us. Can you introduce yourself for the people that's watching, the people that's going to listen on Thursday?
Oh, what's up, everybody? I am T Gray from the DMV. And like he said, I do therapy, I do coaching. My focus is primarily on relationships and sex. I also do comedy. So I am a well rounded, get you healed and get you laughing kind of girl. In the past, yes, I have tried my best to help Vaughn, but let me tell you something about therapy. You got to be ready. Okay. And I don't think he was, but, but I'm
Hey, I was ready.
definitely for,
I was ready. I wasn't financially ready.
I'm
That's what it
definitely
was.
Okay. I'm definitely for the message though that he is spreading and that he is sending. Being in this place in this space where we are right now, and also dealing with the challenges of our mental health, but then dealing with the challenges of society and work and relationships and all these things. It is nothing but beneficial to have someone in your corner that can help to coach you through, that can help to talk you through, that can sometimes get you back off that ledge that a lot of us are on. So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad, hopefully I can be of help to somebody tonight. And start your healing process. Start it off the right way.
Definitely, definitely. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. I ain't gonna throw no digs on the live, but next time I talk to you, I'm definitely throw some digs. Our next guest, y'all, we got Jelani. This is one of my guys, man. We go way back, DC. Fellow comedian. He's just a funny guy. He's bartender. We were homeless together at one point. He's now married and doing well in life. What's up, Jelani? Introduce yourself, please.
Hey, how we doing, guys? I'm Jelani, like Vaughn said. I'm from DC. Um, yeah, I would say the Airbnb we lived in together was bad, but I don't want to call it a homeless shelter, but we were almost there. Um, but yeah, I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to talk about mental health. It's really something that I think is important in the Black community. Um, so yeah, I just downloaded TikTok again, so I don't know how to turn my camera on yet, but I'm here with y'all, and I still look like that picture you're looking at. So
Okay. It looks like you might not have camera access right now. All right. Well, I appreciate both of y'all. My first thing, so we're going off talking about right now the common myths about therapy. And one myth is therapy is only for people with serious mental health issues. T Gray, what do you think about that?
I think that that's a gigantic myth that should be busted. Um, does therapy have a place for everybody? Of course it does. It's one of the few things that doesn't come with your lovely dose of racism. It's the one place where you can be yourself, where you can shed your pain, where you can let all your guard down. Going through life, having anything going on, small or big, trauma, no trauma, um, being able to unload or being able to shed whatever it is that you've dealt with. It comes in all shapes and sizes, right? So does therapy. Therapy comes in all shapes and sizes. So you don't have to have massive mental health issue. I don't have to be at the farther spectrum of the bipolar. I don't have to be at the worst of my schizophrenia. I could just have had a few bad days. I could have just, not been feeling myself for, a few weeks, or I just really had something going on, but I can't put my finger on it. I know I'm not me. Or you see that you're not necessarily connecting with your inner self. You look in the mirror and you're like, you know what? I see this person working and grinding, but it's something there that I don't recognize. My dad died, my mom died. Maybe I processed it, but every day at this time of year, I still lash out. It could be anything. And a lot of times people don't utilize the vehicles or the tools. Like Ron said, we try to build on what we have as a broken foundation sometimes. And we try to keep building on that. We try to keep going on that. And the reality of it is, as long as your foundation is broken, you could tear the house down, but if I put a new house on it, guess what? It's going to fall apart at some part too. Mm-hmm. So the therapy is the vehicle that moves out that foundation and helps you to create a new one. So as you are building, as you are growing, as you do want to tear down whatever was there and build it up new, the therapy then comes in to create that new foundation for you, at least give you the tools so you can see how to do that. A lot of times people think about building, growing, and they don't think about the tools that you need to get there. And therapy can definitely be that tool for anybody, for any situation, for wherever you are, whatever you're going through. Biggest myth ever. Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate that. Yes, you're so right. That foundation, that's something I had to learn. I needed to get a healthier foundation myself, and once you get that awareness, a lot of people just don't have the awareness that they even need to do that. But once you do get that awareness, which I learned in therapy, man, life got so much better. Jelani, did you have anything to add or say about that?
Oh no, I definitely agree with T. Gray. Like, it is important to have that foundation. I think for me a lot, as a comedian, you'll hear people say stuff like, "Oh, comedy is my therapy." And I was producing the shows a lot, and I was just like, some of these people need real therapy. I was like, the first time I heard that joke, I laughed, but the more I got to know these people, I was like, this ain't funny. They need to go talk to somebody,
Oh man, I shouldn't be laughing. Yes,
but like it was like you'll hear it. Like people will say that a lot. Like, the stage is my therapy, comedy. And it's like, nah, bro. Like, you're bipolar. Like, you need to talk to somebody. Like, And
go ahead.
And like even for myself, like people, I will kind of have to like check in on myself because I do like a lot of self-deprecating humor, and you have to like Bruce Lee said something. He said like, I think he said something like, never insult yourself even in jest, because your mind can't tell the difference. And like it kind of made me like want to change up my sets, because it's like for the longest time I was doing a lot of fat jokes, and like I just had a hard time losing weight, and it was because like I was internalizing that. Like I was going on stage every day saying I'm fat, and I didn't realize why it was so hard for me to lose weight, because I had internalized that. Like that was who I was. Like that was what I was to the world. So you really have to be careful there, like with your self-deprecating humor, because it gets laughs, but your cholesterol's not a laughing matter. You have to make sure that you're in a good space. So now, like I try to be aware of that. Like I'm trying to eat health. I'm trying to eat healthier. For my mental health. But when I go and order the kids meal, the cashier, it's not good for my mental health. It's good for my physical health. But the cashier judging me for ordering the kids meal, that's not always great for my mental health.
Yes. You said a lot there. As an artist, a comedian myself, I definitely understand. That's one thing I had to learn, right? You up there getting validated for toxic habits, and you thinking nothing's wrong with it, and you feeling it, and yeah, man, because comedy just in general is a validation. Like if you're not careful, you can fall into the validation seeking behavior. And that is a very, very, very slippery slope. So I'm glad that you were able to build some self awareness, man. And Ain't nothing wrong with them kids, Mel. How you kidding us too?
Appreciate it, man.
So Jelani, got another question for you. Another myth about therapy is I should be able to fix my problems on my own. What do you say about that?
I mean, I think like more in terms of like validation, that can be problematic because I felt that way too. Like, people around me self-medicated with substances, and they'd be like, "Oh, Jay, you all right? Just go smoke something. Just come have a drink with me." And that was great, but then sometimes you can't afford to smoke, you can't afford to drink,
You can't afford the
and
addiction.
you know, and you have to seek professional help, and sometimes you might not be able to afford professional help. So I do think that that's something people have to be mindful of. Of like, hey, like you didn't go to medical school, like you're not a professional. Just like I tell people, like when they try to heckle, like, hey, you didn't do any training to be a comedian. Don't try to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
and have security kick you out. Like that's the thing. Is like every people want to be like, what do they say? A jack of all trades is a master of none. Like there are people who are professionals who know how to do this, and I think it's sometimes it's an ego thing to think that you can fix all your problems, And I know that everybody's not in a position to have this treatment, but it's like that whole saying, like it takes a village. Like you're not a village, you're just one villager.
Yes, I love that. T Gray, did you have anything to add to about that myth? I should be able to fix my problems on my own.
I can tell you that I'm a walking, talking testament of how that don't work.
Mm,
Um, I too am guilty of telling myself at some point, "Oh, I can do this by myself." And getting to the place to ask for help is humbling. Okay, get into that level where you have to reach out, and you have been that type of person to pull yourself out, and you got to kind of go back to the basics and be like, you know what, I can't do this on my own. It's scary. Okay, I'm not gonna kid you guys because I've been through it too. It is super scary, but it's also naive a little bit to believe that we can always do it on our own. And it's kind of put it in terms of when we're new here. When we're new here, we don't learn to walk on our own. Somebody is holding us up. Somebody is holding our hand. Somebody is allowing us to take those first couple steps and let us go. It's just like riding a bike. Somebody is holding the back. Somebody has you, and then you got to let it go. So when we internalize and when we depend on ourselves, there's nobody holding the back of our bike. There's nobody holding our hand. So who are you allowing to let yourself go in? Who are you allowing to put that much trust in? Are you only putting it into yourself? Because look, this is where you've led yourself so far. So the notion of I can do it on my own, does it happen? Almost too much. Is it a hard place to get out of? Of course it is. But understanding that there are some avenues and there are some places and there are people that you can talk to, some of which are free. Get it. Try it. See if you can allow yourself to take that little bit of trust or that little bit of whatever you have left and put it into someone else to help get you up, to help let go of that bike for you, to help let your hand go so that you can start recreating your steps on your own. So a lot of these things, are they all myths? Yes. The problem with them being myths and the problem with them being so big is that it's too many people that believe it and not enough people who don't. So if we could do something to bridge that gap, then it would be great.
Yeah, I feel like in the Black community, we feel like we gotta be the strong ones, and I be myself. I always felt like I had to be strong, but they say it's a trauma response, and I'll be honest with you. I don't say this out loud, but sometimes you gotta go in your room and cry and release that, so that you can make room and because we all do need. Thank you so much for joining. We do need other people. We can't always get everything done on our own. But definitely as Black people, I feel like and just in general with our culture, we feel like we got to be strong, and a lot of it, I understand it. We did have to be strong. Jelani, what do you think about that? When people say I should be able to fix my problems on my own.
I definitely agree with like T Gray. Like it's even more so for black men because it's I remember when my brother passed away. Like it was my I didn't see my dad cry a lot, and to like kind of see him cry was just like it was kind of a release for me because it was just like you know we always have to show strength, but sometimes you can't always be strong, and you do need that release. And there's so much talk about with black men about like not being weak or like manning up. So we're not that's not we need to see that visual more of like, hey, it's okay. This doesn't make you soft. This doesn't make you any less masculine. If anything, like feeling your emotions and all your feelings probably makes you more of a man than to show that like, hey, I do have emotions. Like I'm not a robot. Like I'm not a rock. Because like holding all that in like that hurts you. That stresses you out. That hurts your health. Like you can't just. You're not a machine. You can't just people really admire the stoic man and stuff, but I'm like, there's pain underneath all that. And I think, projecting strength for your family at times is really important, but at the end of the day, you're still a human being. And just everybody, but definitely like just more black men, I would like to see like more vulnerability, and like that not being seen as weakness.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree with you 100%, my brother, and that's why I create a platform like this so that we can that's part of making it normal, especially for Black men. Because I first of all I identify as a sensitive thug. For anybody that's watching or listening to this, and what that means is if you ever disrespect me, I'm gonna journal about you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna get upset and angry. I'm putting my pen to the paper and I'm releasing those emotions. And we just got to make that normal. A lot of the stuff, like I've realized when we was growing up, we saw on TV a depiction of just men or what masculinity wasn't really masculinity. And so, yeah, we definitely got a lot of healing and growing to do from there. All right, y'all. So I got some, we got the mental health stuff. You got to throw a little gossipy drama in there for the people because people only listen when you do celebrity stuff. So I don't know if y'all heard y'all heard about the Megan the Stallion and the cheating rumors, and she broke up with Clay. But Megan, when she came out, right, she said that Clay was cheating on her, and one of the things, but she never said who exactly was cheating, so it was kind of just left out there in the fold, right? Megan has one of those fan bases who will attack you, just like the Barbs and some other fan bases where they're brutal, they'll be mean, they'll roast you. So Lexi Brown, WNBA star, was getting a lot of like death threats and attacked and stuff like that. And she had to come out publicly like, "Hey, I'm not the one that Clay was cheating with." So I have two questions for you. Should Megan Thee Stallion have, as humans, are we morally, should we be have a more obligation to do things for others so they can protect their mental health? That's the first question. And the second part is, how do you protect your mental health when you are getting attacked online? T. Gray.
Those are two really great questions. I want you to put a pin on the first one and let me tackle the second one. When you are getting attacked online, to be honest, the easiest thing for any of us to do will be just to cut the phone off, right? In theory, that's the easiest thing. I'm going to cut the phone off. I'm going to, disconnect. No iPad, no watch, no laptop. That would be the easiest thing. However, we know we ain't gonna do that. We know we're gonna keep reading them comments. We're gonna keep getting upset. We're going to keep, rehashing. You have to honestly give yourself a time to take a step away. You have to take a step away. Sometimes when we're constantly on attack, not sometimes, all the time, our body is in a constant fight or flight, right? So if I'm constantly in fight, I'm tense. My nervous system is tense. Everything in me is tight. I can't see clearly. I can't hear clearly. Now my senses are off. Now my body is not functioning correctly. Now I have all these other things going on. So it's easy to say, I need to put up some level of shield. And if that shield is not going to be restraint to put the devices down, it has to be restraint here. It has to be restraint here. It has to be strength here. It has to be some level of, I can do this. I can push through this. I can keep moving past this. A lot of people are going to go to their friends. A lot of people are going to go to a group or somebody that's going to lift you up. But let me tell you one thing I've noticed about friends, because everybody got that one. Everybody got that one friend who everybody around you be like, you know what, girl, you're going to get through this. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Everybody has that one friend that's going to be like, but I seen that nigga other day who was doing da 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 da. Being able to have a level of discernment, that's the truth, and isolate. I feel like that's the step you have to take. One, you have to remove yourself from the problem. Two, you have to get on a serious, put this positive energy in me. Because if I stay in a negative place and if I stay in a negative mindset, I can't see through it. The same way he said, because he told these fat jokes on stage, he wouldn't lose weight. The same way I can read these comments and these people constantly tell me something negative, constantly saying something negative, I'm going to keep saying it. Even if I don't open up my mouth, I'm saying it here. So now it's in my spirit. Now it's in my cells. Now it's in all these places. So I have to, one, remove myself. I have to, two, put positive energy back into me. I have to, three, understand that I'm bigger than the problem. Understand that I'm bigger than the emotion at the moment. Now, we crash out. We human, we people, we go through stuff. But the reality of it is, do I take it and allow it to be strength for me? Allow this to be something that I learn from. Allow this to be something to show me how I can move from it, how I can be stronger than it. That's where that golden piece is. I could just say, grab you one of these shot glasses, ho, and take a couple shots, right? That's not going to fix it. It's not going to fix it. It's not going to fix it, because if I don't take a level of accountability, okay, for even putting it out there in social media in the first place, and if I don't remove myself from it, if I don't put the positive things back into myself, how can I then return to social media with my head held high? How can I then say, you know what, you guys, I was crashing out. You guys, I was hurt at that time. You guys, I was going through something. I had to have a level of acceptance. I have to have a level of accountability. I fucked up too. This was my part, but this is how I'm going to be bigger than that. This is what I'm going to do forward. This is why we're not going to talk about it more. Whatever that is, you have to own it, separate, repair, and then get back at this shit like it ain't nothing. Get back at it. And I know y'all hearing me saying, and y'all probably be like, you know what, that bitch onto something, but maybe I can't do that. You can. It's hard work. It's hard work being accountable, right? It's hard work saying, hey, maybe I messed up too. And I don't know Meg personally. I don't know Clay personally. I don't know what happened in their relationship, what led to it. But I can tell you that she was hurt. And I can tell you that anytime somebody gets hurt, normally it's never totally 100% on another person. It might be 5% on her, it might be 10, but sometimes there's a level of accountability there that has to be taken first. And we normally crash out before we do that. We normally, before we do that. So we have to start there. Start with a level of accountability and understand that, hey, when it's too much, let me separate. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I don't remember
100%
what your
correct.
first question was.
Hey, we're gonna keep it moving, Jelani. You still there, Jelani?
Yeah, I'm still here. No, I totally agree with T. Gray. I recently had a video on Instagram get a lot of views, and when they tell you whenever something blows up, like you should never read the comments, and I didn't listen. I read the comments, and like a lot of them for the most part were really like positive. But the longer it went on, like they got negative, and people were making real statements about me. And I think that's the problem, like with social media sometimes, is like you're going to strangers for validation. And sometimes it can be positive, but sometimes it's not positive, and you have to like keep that in mind when you open yourself up to internet. It goes both ways. Like you can't control what comes back to you. You can only control what you put out, but you can't control what comes back to you. I think like comedian Dave Chappelle said sometimes like we need to stop worshiping celebrities. And I think that's a real thing where I'm just like I know a lot of people who have gone through infidelity and breakups, but I think when it's celebrities, we focus on it more. And like T. Gray said, it's like she's in pain, and a lot of people can probably resonate with that. And so I think when you're going through something like that, it can be helpful to like share that with people. But you have to understand when you put your business out there, you're putting your business out there. So you do need to be mindful with social media, where it's like it's a double-edged sword, where it's just like it can heal you, but it can also hurt you. So
Right.
I think as I get more into social media, I'm being more careful with it and more mindful of like how much I am comfortable exposing about myself, because my mom told me something like, once you put information out there, you can never take it back. It's always going to be out there. So just knowing that the internet is forever, um, you have to. People want to go viral. People want to grow. People want to grow, just like comedy. But you have to know that there can be a price, and you have to know like what you're comfortable exposing. And like with comics, you expose a lot of yourself, but like you said about the validation thing, you have to be mindful of that. Like I used to like not try to check social media a lot, but now that I'm doing the content creation, I need to be more mindful of how much I'm checking this stuff, because I I don't want to connect my self worth to like my social media. Like, oh, when the comments are good, when things are growing, things are doing well, I want to feel good, because things are not always going to be growing. The comments aren't always going to be positive. So I think we do have to be mindful in a time where everybody's so quickly to expose everything, that it's good to be vulnerable, but there is a price with that vulnerability.
Yeah, yeah. I've learned that the hard way. I was on a speed dating panel last week, right? I went up there. The guy asked me if I was I a 50-50 guy, and I was like, nah, 75-25. There was 5,000 people in the like watching at this time. When I tell you, yo, I had like over 1,000 women telling me, "Oh, he's so broke, get him off the pedal." Yo, that hurt, but it didn't take it. I didn't take it too personal, because it was like I had to learn. You can't take the social media stuff too seriously. And most of the time, man, people be lying on here. Like they be acting like their life is so great, but yo, everybody is just trying to make it and figure out how they're gonna pay for this $5 gas. Anyways, y'all, this has been fantastic. T, great, thanks for joining us. Where can people find you, and did you have anything to promote?
Oh, you guys can find me. Look, get off of here and find me on Instagram. 'Cause that's where I be at all the time. I am on Instagram at T Gray Comedy, TGRAYE Comedy. You can't find me here, like for real. When they was having all that, TikTok is taking all your information. Like I got up out of here, right? So I just got back on TikTok, and I'm just now trying to spread some of my comedy content here. But if you want to find me for it, you can catch me over on Instagram at T Great Comedy. You guys just missed me because I was just performing in New York, and I'm sitting down for a second. I'll have some shows posted and some dates coming up in the next 2 weeks. But yeah,
Still got your
I'm
monthly
gonna break
show?
down for a second.
You still do you have that
No,
number?
I do not produce. I took a break.
Okay,
I
so the
took a
break.
break, and I'm actually, I actually am planning to do a show in June. It's
Okay.
going to be a R&B and comedy thing, and I'm gonna try it out once, and if it goes well, then I'm gonna keep on doing. But yeah, I'm actually planning for something in June. That's the secret, y'all. So yeah, it's only 10 of us in here. They're gonna tell nobody. But yeah, so I'm at the DC Comedy Loft quite often. If you're looking for your girl, that's where I be at most of the time, telling jokes,
Cool.
slinging
If
this
you're in the DC area,
comedy.
make sure you check out T Gray. She said she got a show in June, RB and comedy. So Grown and Sexy, come out and do that. Jelani, what about you, brother? You got anything to promote or anything upcoming?
Yeah, I'm definitely I'm back on TikTok. I'm on Instagram, but find me on Facebook because they're actually paying real money. So if y'all want to follow me anywhere, follow me somewhere that's paying because I got followers on Instagram, but that don't translate to dollars. So please find me on Facebook.
All right. Well, I like that both y'all came up here on TikTok and promoted your Instagram. So I'm pretty sure the algorithm is not going to push me because of that. But anyway,
We're here about yeah. Find me
Yeah,
here
find me
too.
on
T.
TikTok too.
Gray. Okay.
I'm here. I need more followers. Find me on TikTok.
gotcha. Well, I'm about to disconnect
But I
y'all.
do
Thank
want to
you.
say real quick, though.
Go ahead.
Disconnect me real fast because I should say this. I do still do counseling. I do still do relationship and sexual health counseling. So if you legitimately are looking for somebody to help, to talk to, whatever, by all means, send me a message. By all means, I am 1,000% confidential. And I have a caring spirit. I'll say that. So I care whether or not you're doing well. And if you just want to get it out, even if it's a small thing, I will wholeheartedly listen. I will wholeheartedly help. Yes?
Can I ask you one quick question? Do you think
Sure.
I'm looking for a new therapist, and I think it matters. Do you think it matters if your therapist is the same race as you? Do you think that I should prioritize that?
So I'm gonna be quite honest. I don't think that it is 100%. And the reason why, you're gonna say it's probably crazy how I'm gonna put this, but y'all just gotta ride with it. Therapy for real, for a heterosexual female is like choosing a penis, okay? You got long ones, short ones, fat ones, thick ones, great ones, horrible ones. Sometimes you're going to have a big one, but that don't know how to work. Sometimes you're going to have a little one that knows how to knock it out the box. It's the same thing with your therapist. Just because your therapist is the same color don't mean you're going to help me heal. That's not what that means, because I could talk to you and you still not have no level of understanding of me. I could talk to you and you not be able to resonate with me. I could talk to you and you're talking to me as if I don't fit these guidelines in this book and if I don't fit this specific mode. So I think that it's crazy to let race play a part in that. I understand, however, with people having a certain level of comfortability that they think because we look alike that it's this. That's not what that means. And if somebody that is of another race can help me heal, then that's who I need to be with. If somebody that is of another race, because of the way they grew up or because of how they live or because of their level of education or because they think outside the box or because they have this new thing that nobody else has thought of, I'm going to go to where I can get better. I'm going to go to where I feel like I am covered mentally, emotionally. I'm going to go to where somebody can help me heal and grow and be better. And if the color of their skin doesn't match mine, then so be it, because I'm not here from them. I'm here for me. I get the level of importance, and I'm not saying that to say that I don't support Black business or I don't want a Black hairdresser. I don't want da 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 da. I'm going to go to where somebody can legitimately get me better. And if that person doesn't look like me, then so be it, because it's just not my fit. And that's okay.
Right.
I appreciate you.
I would say just personally because
Somebody that's going to deal with that wisdom.
I had
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's so big.
Right.
As someone that has dealt with a lot of different types of therapists, I would say that race was one of the factors, but it wasn't the whole picture. There's other things like what type of therapy do they practice? What is specifically are you looking for? Like now I'm looking for IFS type therapy, right? So there were specific therapists that I need to mention that. And then also with race, just because someone's the same race as you they might not still have the same background as you. So it's like, they might be black, but they might come from a more, they might have been more upper class black than you, and you might have been more lower class black. So there's, I would tell anybody that going to therapy, like, don't look just for race. Like, actually do your research and just see if you mesh with people. You can do a couple sessions and try it out. Like she said, like, it was so funny. I ain't never seen nobody say therapy in that type of way. But try it out, get to know that person, and get to know. I always have a black woman therapist. That's just my thing. But I don't go to just any type of black woman. Like I gotta make sure she can understand me, see where I'm coming from. Does she so there's just other factors outside of just the person being a black woman. Outside of that
is?
Go ahead.
Do you know why you particularly only go to a certain kind of black woman?
What you about to say, mommy issues?
Have you ever thought about it? Have you ever thought about it? Have you ever really took stock of that? Why do I choose these type of women?
You said, have I ever thought about it? I mean, yeah, I feel more comfortable. A lot of it is just my upbringing. I always felt more comfortable talking to a woman about my emotions versus a man.
Okay. I feel like we should dive into that next time I talk to you.
Just trying to do some. All right, we're gonna let this go. Anyways, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect y'all because I gotta continue this live. T Gray, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Make sure y'all check out if y'all need some therapy or some comedy. She got both. She a double-edged sword. Peace out, T Gray. Jelani, make sure you check him out if you want to see some comedy and some content. Man, very funny guy. Thank you so much for Jelani for coming through, bro.
Appreciate it, Vaughn.
All right, y'all. Before we get out of here, just want to go over some affirmations, y'all, because we got to end this with affirmations. So, y'all, affirmations for the day is 1, I love and accept myself. I love and accept myself. 2, people care about me and what I need to succeed. People care about me and what I need to succeed. 3, I am okay with being a villain in other people's stories. I am okay with being a villain in other people's stories. All right, y'all. So anyways, I will be in Delaware this weekend. I got a comedy show in Delaware. Make sure you check that out on my tour dates. And the next weekend, I will be in Pennsylvania for next week. I'll be in Pennsylvania, Erie, Pennsylvania, and I will be in Erie and Pittsburgh. So make sure you check out tour dates. Got more tour dates coming up. Also, if you're a fan of my sketch comedy, check out my page, dropping sketches every Monday. Very, very, very funny. Anyways, y'all, thank y'all so much again for joining Reflect and Grow with Mychael. I will see y'all again next week, 10 p.m. Have a good night, y'all.